is not heroin in a pill. Oxycodone is an opioid. Heroin is an opiate. And heroin is actually diacetylmorphine, if we must get technical about it.
Well, I'm not being technical about it.
This person is. Oh, that's you. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I suspect that if somebody were to offer me a rail of downer pill and tell me this is a good one to rail, at this point I probably would. Even though the last time that was offered to me wasn't that long ago, I turned it down because I never do downers.
You should not do them if you don't need them, but if you're going to do them, do oxycodone and nothing else.
Well, if you do them, don't snort them. Do not snort oxy. It's
Why
going to
not?
go right through your blood-brain barrier, and you'll.
It does, dude. If you get
you'll get
oxy,
hooked.
if you don't
You'll
have
get hooked way
Tylenol,
faster that way.
if you don't have Tylenol in it,
Yeah.
So wait, why shouldn't you rail oxy?
Because it's basically more addictive that way.
you should never rail. You should never rail Adderall because there are two salts
Or
that
Adderall.
are not available through the blood-brain barrier. You have dextro and you have amphetamine base, which is dextro and levo, which the orbiters around the atom. Dextro goes clockwise, levo goes counterclockwise. Dextro affects your central nervous system. Levo, the left counterclockwise orbiters, affect your body. That's what makes you feel hyped up when you're on Adderall. Is the levoamphetamine, and then you've got dextroamphetamine sulfate, dextroamphetamine aspartate, and dextroamphetamine saccharate. And one or two of them are not able to get through the blood-brain barrier. So if you take a bunch of Tums before you take your Adderall, you will have much more bioavailability of the drug
Than snorting it.
than snorting it. Yes.
Because snorting it, you're getting half of the drug through the membranes. The rest of it, you have to snort down and have it in your stomach anyway.
You're getting it more quickly, but you're losing part of it.
Yeah.
Or you're getting it, but
you're
you
getting
have
it
to snort it
faster
down in
and
your
harder,
stomach.
but you're not getting all of it, and you're going to
wasting
get hooked
half.
on it faster that way, but you're already hooked on it
You're
anyway.
getting it faster, but you're wasting half of it.
Yeah.
Okay, but my point is you're not wasting half of it if you snort it all the way down into your stomach eventually.
I get that, but there's so many binders in different brands that the binders keep it. The binders will in some generic brands will keep it from getting to your blood-brain barrier completely. It won't even go into your blood vessels because of the binders, the cellulose and the whatever else they put in. Shire Pharmaceuticals, which is the original maker of Adderall, they had a good product, and you could snort them and get most of it. And Sandoz Labs makes a good Adderall, but everyone else makes a terrible Adderall. Teva, I can't remember the other brands, but Shire doesn't exist anymore. Sandoz Labs makes the best Adderall.
I don't know which one this is. How do you know?
It's probably generic.
Sandoz Labs makes the best speed in the world. They made biphetamines back the Black Beauties back in the day. My mom talks about. If you can get your pharmacist to order Sandoz brand Adderall, you'll have the best. Sandoz.
Huh.
Also the original makers of LSD as well. They gave it to the Grateful Dead.
I need to get my hands on some LSD again. Too bad I live in a shithole.
Yeah. Mushrooms are weird. Mushrooms confuse me. LSD is more like
The one time I did mushrooms, I was on lift.
geometric,
So,
and I like geometric things more than rounded things. Mushrooms are more rounded.
Yeah, I like the mushrooms way better.
I don't see any of that shit. I just get in a weird state of mind, and maybe if I look at my wall long enough, like the patterns in the paint will start to like shift a little bit into
You're not getting good
a
LSD.
skull or a
Yeah. I agree with your assessment of LSD as angular and mushrooms as rounded. even though that makes no sense at all. But I
I do.
completely agree with it. I
I'm not
completely
saying
agree with it,
You know,
and
the-
I much prefer mushrooms.
mushrooms are more. Are more,
It's natural versus man-made, basically.
and I like to feel
Absolutely.
sometimes.
They're just friendly. You're not gonna
Yeah.
you.
When I do LSD, I like to be by myself. When I do mushrooms, I can be around. Well, you know what? I'm wrong. When I do mushrooms, I do not like to be around people because I can't understand what they're saying. It's like blah, 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 blah.
God,
When
I
I-
wanted to go out to my friend's camp and do some mushrooms.
Yeah.
Summer. Yeah.
I was a fish head tour, and I did lots of psychedelics, and
Fish.
the fish. Never got to see the Grateful Dead. I was a little late on that.
Deadheads always have the best drugs.
When I was a teenager, the Grateful Dead were still touring, and that's where we got acid. Whenever they came into L.A.,
You guys
go
get
down to the Dead concert,
shit out there,
and you just walk around and
and
literally,
they're like acid.
yeah, it was like that. Acid, blah, 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 blah.
You want some
Right down the
hash,
parking lot.
man?
At the
Okay.
Great Western Forum. I remember going to the Great Western Forum, paying for parking, getting out of the car, walking out of the parking lot, getting various drugs, getting back in the car, and leaving. We paid for
That's
park at this event, but we only parked there for long enough to get drugs.
Well, see, oh god, you're the kind of people we hate. No offense, but
They didn't hate my money.
well, we call it people like your custies, and that stands for customers.
Right, yeah, I wanted drugs.
Well, you know what? You went to the right place.
Somebody was standing there with a sign saying they wanted a miracle. They wanted free tickets to get into the show. Well, I tell you what, I got a miracle. I got some money. I'll trade it for you for these drugs. That's more miraculous.
Yeah, I've seen fish about 60 times. Oh god, I'm so jealous of you right now. God damn.
I never really got into jam bands, but I do like psychedelic rock.
Shoot me.
Fuck you guys.
No, I don't have it. I'm just joking
You don't
around.
have any resin even in there to scrape?
I already did it.
You already scraped all the resin and everything, huh?
Yeah, and I broke it too. I broke.
Shit.
Yeah, but
Triggered.
look, remember, you guys have pills you can take that I don't ever take. I only have Adderall and weed.
You know what? I'm thinking about going and taking 2 Ativans and 2 Valiums, and I'm going to get them right now.
Whoa.
What are Adivans?
Ativans.
Type of benzo. You have Xanax is short acting, Ativan is medium acting, and then Klonopin is long acting.
Long acting. Xanax is super short acting.
Yeah. Ativan you take like 3 times a day. Klonopin you take like twice a day.
Oh, I take Valium 4 times. I take Klonopin 4 times a day. I get 100. Actually, I get 150 a month.
Jesus Christ.
Well, they're only 0.5,
Okay.
but a
I mean-
0.5 is the same potency as a 10 milligram Valium.
Yeah, I'd get like 61 milligrams because I was supposed to take 2 a day for a month.
Of Ativan,
No, Klonopin.
Klonopin. I used to get 3 1 milligrams a day, but my doctor said I think it's affecting your memory. So
Honestly, Ativan is what they gave me in the mental hospital to try to get me to stop smoking weed. They were like, replace it with Ativan, and that didn't work out.
it's because it produces less euphoria than the benzo.
Yeah, I just smoked weed and took the Ativan, and then I took more Ativan, which is what I told my psychiatrist who gave me Klonopin. I was like, dude, I'm probably just going to
But Klonopin,
double down on it at some
Why
point.
do they want you to stop smoking weed?
you chew on Klonopin, you get that like effervescence
Because-
feeling in the back of your throat, and that's kind of a placebo effect.
Because when you're dependent on an illegal drug, it's called substance abuse disorder.
No, when you're
They don't want you to do that.
when you're dependent on an illegal drug, you have inconsistency in
Right.
production of it, and you need to have.
Nobody can monitor your
Yeah.
usage or determine whether it's helpful or harmful to you.
Okay, but why are you allowing a doctor to make the prescription of
Well, at the
So
time, I had no
conditional-
idea what to fucking
conditional
do, and I was
conditional
just looking
upon
for
anything.
help, and I was hoping that they would actually help me, but I
I
didn't
love my doctor.
realize that they weren't helping much.
I love
But here's my question, though, Spacey. I'm saying, why would you allow any medical professional to make one medication conditional upon behavior that's not part of their medical?
He doesn't. He allows me to participate in my. I'm smart.
Well, he's asking me, but
Okay.
and honestly, Eric, in their opinion, at least, it is related. Like, if you're putting chemicals into your body, then it is related to your mental health in some way.
Okay, so you're agreeing then that my mental health requires me to take this medication, yes?
No.
How do you procure your Adderall, Eric?
Are you telling me, doctor, that this thing is medically prescribed for me or not?
No, I'm asking you. How do you procure your Adderall?
I get it from my doctor. What?
You just said.
It's not conditional upon anything.
Well,
He's not like, I will give you your Adderall if you don't smoke weed.
Well, no, they gave it to me anyway. They were just hoping that I would stop smoking weed if I had something to replace it with.
Smoke weed. I totally.
Manage my anxiety, basically.
But they should have been hoping the opposite. You would smoke more weed and take fewer of their stupid pills.
Well, that's not how the mental health system works. That's not
Then
how the mental
somebody
system works at all.
talk to
But I mean,
My
if you
psychiatrist.
ever encounter them, you need to shame the living shit out of them as loudly as possible until they fix their fucking wrongness.
You need to know your facts. You need to go in with your facts. You need to work with your mental professional, and you need to. He allows me to participate in my.
Sounds
like you got a good enough setup. Okay,
I mean,
I'm not
weed
saying
is the
your
best
doctor
thing to
is-
use for pain.
Psychiatrist. He doesn't just prescribe me pills. I go in there for an hour and a half. He's an old school psychiatrist. He does psychotherapy with me, and he prescribes me pills, so I don't have to go see a psychologist and see a psychiatrist. And
Well, that sounds great, but I've never really had a good
he's the head.
situation.
He's the head of the Mood Disorder Center in Medical College of Virginia, and so I trust him. I chose him on that basis.
I mean, the thing is, the biggest problem that we have as far as the healthcare system in America is that people don't understand that it is their body and their medical treatment. They defer to doctors way too much. Doctors, by and large, are not very smart.
But this guy allows me to completely participate in the intellectual exploration of my medicinal selection. But he knows I smoke weed, and he's cool with that. So I'm cool with that too. The only problem was the pain management people weren't. So I heard every fucking day.
But I'm just in a situation where basically, in the opinion of every doctor that I talk to and my entire family, I shouldn't be doing the drugs that I want to do.
Well, everyone should be able to do whatever drugs they want to do as long as it benefits them, as long as it doesn't produce bad outcomes.
Well, I can't actually be completely positive that smoking weed is beneficial to me.
Does it help you feel better?
Overall.
Does it
Well,
make
that makes me feel better when I'm high.
Okay.
None of those things are the question to determine the answer as to whether it's a good idea to smoke weed. You have to compare it against actual alternatives in the status quo. Look, family, I do behave in drug-indulging ways.
Yeah.
The question is not then whether or not you think I ought to be doing drugs.
Harm reduction.
The question is whether or not you care about me. If you care about me, you will facilitate my happiness. That may include doing drugs that you don't understand why I do them because you're not me and your brain is not inside of my head.
My mom has actually been
Objectivism. And it's
better in that way recently since I turned her on to weed, and
I spoke with my parents.
Yeah, she's been enjoying it recently. Even my grandmother started eating the pot cookies.
Good for your family, Spacey.
Yeah.
I live in Massachusetts. All right.
We're going to be trying kratom soon, so we'll see how that goes.
Crazy.
Kratom help.
Can you send me? Can I buy weed cookies from you?
Yeah, can I buy weed cookies from you too?
Can you send me some in the mail?
I told my mom she should start selling them, but she's too scared.
I'll buy them if they're real.
Oh, they're
It is
real.
so easy to ship marijuana through the U.S. Postal Service. I'm trying to get Eric to do it, but he won't.
All right, Nick, I'll ship you some shit. Fine.